We were real, just not forever. We met in the middle of chaos. It wasn't in a perfect place. It wasn't in a moment made for love. It was loud, messy, ordinary, and somehow that's exactly why it worked. I remember the first time our paths crossed. I was running late for something I didn't really care about, rushing through a crowded street, and then there he was, just standing there, looking, calm, solid, like a pause in the middle of a storm. We laughed at the small collision, me spilling my coffee a little, him reaching to help, and in that instant, I knew. Not that I loved him yet, not even close, but that I noticed, that I remembered, that he mattered. From that day, it became easy. Too easy, maybe. We spent hours talking about dreams that felt bigger than the streets we walked on. We shared secrets, small fears, things we didn't tell anyone else. And when we were together, time slowed. We could be quiet, or laugh, or just sit in silence, and it never felt awkward. It was real. It was raw. It was gentle. He never needed to prove himself to me. I never needed to test his love. It was quiet, steady, the kind of love people write about but rarely live. But life has its own plans. At first, it was little things, missed calls, plans that didn't happen, a text that took too long to send, and we brushed it off. We're busy, we told ourselves. It's nothing. And maybe it was nothing at first, but over time, those small gaps grew. A few inches became a few feet, a few weeks, a few months. And no matter how much we tried to stay connected, we were slowly drifting. I don't blame him. I don't blame myself. We were real, and sometimes that's all we're meant to be. A fleeting connection, a chapter in someone else's story. I remember the last night we were together. We sat on the balcony, city lights stretched below us like tiny fires. I wanted to hold on. I wanted to pretend the world could pause. That timing didn't matter, that nothing else existed. But he looked at me like he knew, like he understood that our story wasn't meant to last forever. And in that look, I understood too. We didn't say much. Words felt heavy and unnecessary. We smiled quietly, held each other's hands one last time, and then gently we let go. I walked away that night feeling empty, yes, but also full. Because even though it ended, it was real. We weren't a fleeting crush. We weren't a mistake. We weren't forever, but we were beautiful, honest, and alive. And sometimes that's enough. Years later, I still think about him. I imagine where he is, who he is with, what he's doing, and a part of me wishes things had been different, just a little. But then I remind myself, the fact that we existed, that we loved, that we were real, that is something no one can take away. We were real. We were honest. We were not forever. And somehow, that was enough.